Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to create this really cool effect, this type of nice kaleidoscope in Rive, and we're just going to use images and data binding. Now this lesson is part of my new course, Rive Rockstar, which is coming out pretty soon. And if you want to check out the course, there's a link in the description, and be sure to check it out because I go really deep into data binding in that course. And this is just a nice teaser for you guys. Now I've got all of these images from Unsplash, and you can just go there and get some cool images. You can see all the images that I've got. Any image would work, but the more contrasty the image, the better. And it's actually a lot of fun to play around with. So you can just get some images and from Unsplash or wherever, if you've got some cool photos you've taken or even some cool illustrations you've made, and just pop it into and see what it looks like, because this is quite a nice effect, as you can see. Okay, now we're going to look at building this cool kaleidoscope in Rive using mainly data binding. And this looks very complicated, but it's actually much easier than you think it is. So let's get started. Okay, so if we go into this now, there's basically two files here. The one is called pattern and the other one's called final. So the pattern one contains the photo. And I find that you can use almost any photo to get a nice effect, and it's quite fun to play around with them. The only thing that I recommend is you should have photos with quite high contrast and nice sort of patterny things. Like you'll see the photos I've used here. Let me just go to the assets, and you can see there on the right, I've got one that's like a graffiti thing, and then I've got this cool building. I've got another building, and then this nice pattern. So anything that's got patterns, I've got a flower, a zebra, stripes, anything like that with high contrast and patterns tend to work nice in a kaleidoscope. Okay, now the way you set this up, there's a timeline, and you can see it's animating. So it's basically just rotating over 2 seconds, and it's just scales slightly increasing and decreasing to create a subtle pulsating effect. So that's all there is for the pattern artboard. And then now what I want to do is I just want to go here into our hierarchy where we've got our image, and then just up here where it says image, we want to data bind. But before we can data bind, we need a view model. So just clicking on pattern here on the artboard, just create a new view model, go to data, and call this view model, let's call it pattern. And then now we just add an image. So click plus on your view model, add image, and then just go back into your hierarchy where you see image and just data bind that and select image property. Okay, that's basically done for this one. Now we need to move on to the next one. So now I'm here in the final one, and what I need to do here is I need to just nest these artboards. So I'm going to create 4 instances. So I'm going to create pattern, and I'm just going to left align it and put it to the top, and then I'm going to duplicate this one, duplicate it, and just with the scale we need to mirror it on the X like so, and then bring this one to the right and copy or duplicate it again. And then this one we're just going to bring, no, we're not going to do that, we're just going to bring it down, and this one needs to be mirrored on the X and the Y. I'm just going to bring it down, yeah, and then duplicate it again, and then this one needs to be mirrored only on the Y. And now we take all 4 of them. I'm just going to put them between these two here. And now I want to take this one and clip it to this ellipse at the bottom. Clip this one to the ellipse, and this one, and as this one as well. So they all clip to the ellipse. Okay, so that's basically our setup for the kaleidoscope. Now we need to go here to our final, and we need to create a new view model. So this one selected. I'm just going to create a view model here, and I'm going to call this one Kaleidoscope. And I'm going to plus here, and then here we need to bring in this pattern view model. So with Kaleidoscope selected, bring in pattern, and then go here to your artboard that we imported, the nested artboard, and just make it property of pattern, and then do it for all of them. We're going to use the same one because they're basically going to be the same. We don't need more instances. So that's basically it. So just to recap, you create a new view model. You go to your view model and you add here, go all the way down, view models, and add a property of the pattern view model, which references this view model, and you link it to the nested artboards. So if I press play now and we go to the image property and I choose an image, you can see what's happening here. So now we've got our images set up. Now we just need to link them to the buttons, which we will do next. Now we just need to set up these buttons. So I've created animations for each one of them, as you can see here. Nothing complicated, just an animation, and then they're all hooked to an any state. So let's go up here to our kaleidoscope, and I'm going to add a number here because we're not using inputs anymore. Because you can see here, Rive is trying to tell us, hey guys, stop using inputs. It's a subtle way of telling us you can still use them, but you're supposed to. You can do all of this in inputs. You can do that in the state machine. So we just created a number. Like we would have created a number down here, but we just do it up here in the view model. So I'm just going to call this button number, and then all I do is I select this one here, and then view model change, set button number to 1. And so it's exactly the same way we would have done it with a state machine. We're just controlling it from up there. So for ellipse 2, we go view model change, set button number to 2, and then just continue for the other ones. So now I went ahead and I set the buttons up for each one. So it's ellipse 1, 2, 3. So I just change the values. Now select all of these guys here, and then just play and say if button number, and then all you need to do now is just set the numbers here. So this one is 1, this one is 2, this one's 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now we've set up all now the state machine should work. So let's just have a look here. I'll press this button, I'll press this one perfectly. So everything works exactly like it did with when you used inputs. It's just a new way of working. That's all. And now to control the images. And that's very easy. We just go to ellipse 1, the first one here, and just go to view model change and go here, set image property. Make sure you've got kaleidoscope property of pattern, so it references this one, and then set the image to image 1 on the first one, and then just add with the second one, just add a view model change, set image property from pattern, go from kaleidoscope property of anim, so it references the kaleidoscope view model, the main one, and then also the sub view model, if I can call it that, of property of pattern, and set that to image 2, and then just go on down the line and do the same for the rest of them. And like I always said, repetition is the best way of learning. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see what I've got here. So now I've set the images up, and then they change dynamically. And if you want to update an image, you can always do it here. Like for example, here, it looks like I've got these images, but I've got more, so I can change them out and use different ones. All dynamically and procedurally, and this is really cool. And it's actually, once you've got your system set up, it's really easy to change it and to set it up. Say for example, the client says no, he doesn't like zebra, and we can just go, okay, what about you don't like zebra, what about this one? Well, okay, let me see which one zebra is. He said you don't like zebra. What about this one? So you can change them all out dynamically. And that's pretty much how you can create this cool kaleidoscope in Rive